Active Driver Assist combines stop-and-go adaptive cruise control with lane keeping. When these two features are on, the system uses information from the camera on the windscreen and the radar sensor in the front bumper to steer the vehicle and keep it centered in the lane, maintaining a cruise speed and a following distance from the vehicle in front. If the vehicle in front stops, the system can brake your vehicle to a complete stop and move off afterwards. Active Driver Assist can also adjust the vehicle's speed to the speed shown on the traffic signs, either automatically or after confirmation by the driver. Lastly, the system can use geolocation and connected map data to anticipate situations like a change in the speed limit or an upcoming bend or roundabout and automatically adjust your vehicle's speed. To start Active Driver Assist, first press this switch to turn on the stop-and-go adaptive cruise control. This indicator light appears on the instrument panel along with the message Adaptive Cruise Control On. Next, use this switch to select your cruise speed. You can use the stop-and-go adaptive cruise control between 0 and 92.2 miles per hour or 0 and 160 kilometers per hour. When it is on, a following distance is always set by default. You can adjust this distance by repeatedly pressing this switch. Lastly, you can combine stop-and-go adaptive cruise control with traffic sign detection. You'll find this setting in the vehicle section of the OpenR-Link multimedia system. Select Driving Assistance. Then open the Traffic Sign Regulation menu. With Stop-and-Go Adaptive Cruise Control on, you should make sure that Active Driver Assist is fully functional by switching on Lane Keeping to keep the vehicle in its traffic lane. To turn Lane Keeping on, you first need to set it up on the OpenR-Link center screen. Go to the Vehicle section and select Driving Assistance. Then open the Lane Assistance menu. Select Lane Keeping. Press this button to switch the feature on. The message Lane Keeping On appears on the instrument panel along with this indicator light to confirm that the feature is running. The indicator light and the line indicators appear in green when lane keeping is on and keeping the vehicle centered in the lane. You can take control at any time by using the steering wheel. Once you stop using the steering wheel, lane keeping restarts. The lines and indicator light will turn grey if conditions aren't suitable for lane keeping. The system automatically pauses when you're traveling at less than 37.2 miles per hour or 60 kilometers per hour with no vehicle following, or when your vehicle touches or crosses a line, or when no lines are detected in your lane. When the right conditions are present, the feature again centers your vehicle in the lane and the instrument panel display reverts to green. If you come to a sharp bend and depending on your speed, the feature will be less able to control sideways drift and you might need to use the steering wheel to help keep the vehicle centered in the lane. If you don't intervene, the feature causes the steering wheel to vibrate to warn you that the vehicle is about to cross a line and that you need to take immediate action. The indicator light and the relevant line indicator, left or right, will then both turn red on the instrument panel. If the vehicle crosses a line completely and moves out of its lane, lane keeping is automatically paused and the display turns grey on the instrument panel. When using lane keeping, you must still have your hands on the steering wheel, as this symbol shows. The system warns you if it cannot detect your hands on the steering wheel. After 15 seconds, the message "Keep your hands on the wheel" appears in yellow on the instrument panel. After 30 seconds, the indicator light and message appear in red on the instrument panel, accompanied by an audible signal which gets progressively louder. After 45 seconds, all audio sources are put on standby and the audible warning is continuous. The indicator light goes out and the message "Lane keeping off" appears in red on the instrument panel. Lane keeping is then switched off. Please note that in this case, the stop-and-go adaptive cruise control continues to operate. During the first two alarm levels, if the system detects the driver's hands on the steering wheel again, the alarms stop and the feature continues to center the vehicle in the lane. If you don't put your hands back on the wheel within 45 seconds, the indicator light flashes on the instrument panel and an audible warning will sound. The brakes are then applied briefly and successively to warn you that you need to put your hands back on the wheel and take control of the vehicle. If you don't respond, Active Driver Assist turns on the hazard warning lights and slows the vehicle to a complete stop. You can cancel this maneuver and the Active Driver Assist at any time by putting your hands back on the steering wheel or by braking. If you come up behind a slower vehicle in the same lane and Active Driver Assist is on, your speed will adjust to match theirs and maintain your set following distance. If the vehicle in front slows down and stops for up to 30 seconds before moving off again, your vehicle will do the same without you having to touch the pedals. If the system detects an obstacle in the surroundings, automatic restarting will be prevented until the next shutdown. If the vehicle restarts after 30 seconds, simply touch the accelerator or press this button up to move off. The message "Press Res" or the accelerator to restart cruise control is displayed on the instrument panel to confirm this. If a stop is longer than 3 minutes, Active Driver Assist will be switched off and the electronic parking brake applied. You will then have to restart the function. Bear in mind, though, that Active Driver Assist has limited braking power and can't apply emergency braking. Also, you can exceed the cruise speed and overtake at any time just by pressing the accelerator pedal. Lane keeping pauses if you use the indicators. While you're overtaking, the cruise speed will flash yellow on the instrument panel. If the distance from the vehicle in front is less than you have selected, the distance control function is no longer provided and the programmed following distance bar flashes on the instrument panel. When you've finished overtaking, gently release the accelerator pedal to restart Active Driver Assist. Press the same switch to turn lane keeping off, and the message "Lane keeping off" will appear on the instrument panel. This doesn't affect the stop-and-go adaptive cruise control. Lastly, press this switch to turn off Active Driver Assist. Stop-and-go adaptive cruise control and lane keeping are switched off simultaneously. To ensure the system functions correctly, make sure that the camera and radar are not obstructed, for example by dirt, mud or snow. The function may be temporarily disrupted when the visibility of the road is poor or if it includes hairpin bends. You must also switch off active driver assist if you're towing a trailer. Please note that the camera and radar only detect vehicles traveling in the same direction as you. Finally, bear in mind that this feature is an additional driving aid that must not replace your vigilance as a driver. You should mainly use it on motorways, on free-flowing journeys, or in traffic jams. Generally speaking, always adapt your speed to the traffic conditions, irrespective of the system's indications. The advanced safety feature combines active emergency braking with emergency lane departure prevention. If there's a risk of collision, the system alerts the driver with a message on the instrument panel accompanied by an audible signal, and if need be, engages the brake or steering wheel to assist the driver and avoid a collision. The active emergency braking system uses data from the camera on the windscreen and the radar sensor in the front bumper to determine the distance between you and the vehicle in front, whether it's moving or stationary, as well as cyclists and pedestrians ahead, and warns you if there is a risk of collision. It also alerts you to the risk of a head-on collision with an oncoming vehicle if you begin to change direction. When the system detects a risk of collision with the road user ahead of you, this indicator light or the brake message appears in red on the instrument panel, accompanied by an audible signal and micro braking. You must then take evasive action or apply the brakes. If you brake and the system detects that there is still a risk of collision, it will increase the braking force. If you fail to brake or take evasive action despite the audible and visual warnings, emergency braking is triggered and the vehicle brakes to a complete halt if need be. If the danger is imminent, the audible warning and emergency braking may occur simultaneously. In the case of a complete halt, the system ceases to apply the brakes. If necessary, you must depress the brake pedal to keep the vehicle stationary. The active emergency braking system detects moving vehicles ahead of you when you're driving at speeds of between 5 and 99.2 miles per hour or 8 and 160 kilometers per hour. Conversely, stationary vehicles, pedestrians and cyclists are detected when you're driving at between 5 and 49.6 miles per hour, that's 8 or 80 kilometers per hour. Lastly, when you're at a crossroads, the system detects oncoming vehicles traveling at between 18.6 and 34.1 miles per hour or 30 and 55 kilometers per hour. When you're driving at between 5 and 12.4 miles per hour or 8 and 20 kilometers per hour with a direction indicator on. The emergency lane departure prevention system uses data from the camera on the windscreen and the radar sensors on the front and rear bumpers to correct the vehicle's trajectory if you're nearing the side of the road without indicating. The system also initiates corrective action on the steering wheel when it detects a risk of collision with an oncoming vehicle in the adjacent lane, or with a vehicle within detection range, or the rear radar sensors that is traveling at the same or at a higher speed. Emergency lane departure prevention can detect an approaching roadside at speeds of between 40.3 and 99.2 miles per hour, that's 65 and 160 kilometers per hour. When a collision risk is detected, the system corrects your trajectory. A yellow indicator light is displayed on the instrument panel with this symbol and the message "Lane Departure." If the feature is triggered multiple times due to an approaching roadside and it detects that your hands are no longer on the steering wheel, this yellow warning light appears on the instrument panel with the message "Keep Control." The system can detect an oncoming vehicle when your speed is between 40.3 and 68.2 miles per hour, or 65 and 110 kilometers per hour. If there is a risk of collision with an oncoming vehicle in an adjacent lane and you have not used your indicator, the system will correct your trajectory. This red indicator lights up on the instrument panel along with this symbol, an audible signal, and the message "Collision Risk." The system can detect a vehicle coming up from behind if you're traveling at between 40.3 and 99.2 miles per hour. That's 65 and 160 kilometers per hour. The system corrects your trajectory if you're approaching a line and there's a risk of collision with a vehicle behind you in your blind spot, or there is a vehicle coming up fast from behind in an adjacent lane. This indicator flashes in the rearview mirror, and the red indicator light appears on the instrument panel with an audible signal and the message "Side Obstacle Detected." After this, the message "Advanced Safety Engaged" is displayed on the instrument panel for around 3 seconds. You can cancel the trajectory correction at any point by using the steering wheel. To ensure your safety, the advanced safety feature is automatically switched on when the vehicle is started. If you want to turn the system off, go to the Vehicle section in the Open R-Link center screen and select Driving Assistance. Then Safety Body Shield. Select On or Off. This yellow indicator light appears on the instrument panel when the system is switched off. You can adjust the alert sensitivity level for greater driving comfort. Select Anticipation Alarm and choose one of 3 sensitivity options: Late, Standard, and Early. Make sure that advanced safety works properly by keeping the camera, rear view mirrors, and front and rear radar sensors clean and in good condition. In certain conditions, for example heavy rain, poor visibility, or on tight bends, the system may be temporarily impaired. Also, if you're towing a trailer, the message "Trailer Side Radar Unavailable" will be displayed on the instrument panel to advise you that rear vehicle detection is not active. If that happens, this indicator light appears on the instrument panel. If this indicator light also comes on, the advanced safety feature has detected a fault. Contact a Renault representative to resolve the problem. The advanced safety feature is an additional driving aid. It cannot be a substitute for your vigilance as a driver. Always pay attention to the traffic conditions and to your surroundings. The blind spot warning system uses 2 side radar sensors fitted on both sides of the rear bumper to warn you when there's a vehicle in your blind spot or when there is a risk of collision with a vehicle traveling faster than you in one of the adjacent lanes. When you're driving at over 9.3 miles per hour or 15 kilometers per hour, this orange indicator lights up on the left or right-hand wing mirror to warn you that a vehicle has been detected in your blind spot or is coming up fast behind you in an adjacent lane. If you indicate to change lane when a vehicle has been detected in the blind spot in that lane side, the warning light flashes to alert you to the danger. Note that a big difference in speed between your vehicle and a vehicle coming from behind you increases the detection distance. The more quickly a vehicle arrives in your blind spot, the earlier the alert is triggered, so that you're always able to anticipate the danger. You can turn this feature on or off from the Open R-Link center screen. Go to the Vehicle section and select Driving Assistance. Then Blind Spot Warning. Select On or Off. When the engine starts, the feature will be in the same mode as when the engine was last switched off. In certain conditions, such as a road with tight bends or in reverse gear, the feature may be temporarily unavailable. The feature must also be switched off if you're towing a trailer. The message Trailer Blind Spot Warning Off is then displayed on the instrument panel. You should make sure the sensors on each side of the rear bumper are not obstructed by, for example, dirt, mud or snow. The same applies to the indicator lights on the wing mirrors. The blind spot warning driving aid cannot replace your vigilance as a driver. Always pay attention to your driving surroundings. You can use the cruise control to keep the vehicle at a preset speed without having to use the accelerator pedal. This increases your driving comfort, especially during long journeys. Press this switch to turn on cruise control. This indicator light turns grey and the message Cruise Control Ready, Set to Activate appears on the instrument panel, along with dashes to indicate that the feature is on and ready to store a cruise speed. When driving at over 18.6 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour, press this control up or down to specify the cruise speed. Your current speed will then replace the dashes and the indicator light will turn green. You can take your foot off the accelerator pedal. However, you are strongly advised to keep your feet close to the pedals to be ready to intervene if necessary. You can change the cruise speed at any time by pushing this control up to increase the value and down to reduce it. Press and hold up or down to change the speed by increments of 6.2 miles per hour or 10 kilometers per hour. Don't forget that cruise control has a downhill braking feature, so the system can brake to maintain your downhill speed. You can press this switch to combine cruise control with traffic sign detection. The system then identifies speed limits and displays them on the instrument panel. So you can set the cruise control to keep to the speeds detected on the traffic signs. If you exceed the speed limit, the circle around the sign flashes and you'll hear an audible signal. Press this switch to adjust the cruise speed to the detected speed. Of course, you can always take back temporary control of the vehicle acceleration when overtaking, for example, by pressing the accelerator pedal. You'll see the cruise speed flashing red on the instrument panel while you're overtaking. To return to the cruise speed, release the accelerator pedal. Once you've returned to the cruise speed, the instrument panel display will go back to normal and cruise control will restart. There are 3 ways to put cruise control on standby. Press this button to press the brake pedal or change into neutral. If you put the function on standby, your speed is saved and it remains displayed on the instrument panel. Just press this switch up to revert to the stored speed. The speed is then shown in green. If the preset speed is higher than your current speed, your vehicle will accelerate to reach the cruise speed. If the feature has been put on standby and you want to restart it at your current speed, push this switch down. Your current speed will replace the saved speed. To fully deactivate the function, for example in an urban area, press this switch. The indicator light on the instrument panel goes out and the saved speed is deleted. Bear in mind that this function is an additional aid that must not replace your vigilance as a driver. Always pay attention to the traffic conditions and to your surroundings. Lastly, keep in mind that you shouldn't use cruise control in heavy traffic or on winding or slippery roads, or in bad weather conditions. The fatigue detection warning system analyzes your driving behavior and warns you when you're at risk of fatigue or loss of attention. When you show signs of fatigue at speeds over 37.2 miles per hour or 60 kilometers per hour, the feature alerts you with an audible signal and the message "Vigilance Alert. Have a break" is displayed on the instrument panel. You're then advised to take a break as soon as possible. You can turn this feature on or off from the OpenR Link center screen. Go to the Vehicle section in the Multimedia system and select Driving Assistance. Then, Driver Monitoring. Select On or Off. The feature is switched off automatically when Active Driver Assist is on. When you switch off Active Driver Assist, the fatigue detection warning system restarts. The feature is switched on by default each time the vehicle is started. In certain conditions such as poor road surfaces, sporty driving, frequent lane changes or sudden distractions, the fatigue detection warning system may not issue an alert. Finally, bear in mind that this function is an additional aid that must not replace your vigilance as a driver. When traveling long distances, make sure you take a break every 2 hours to avoid loss of alertness. The speeding alert with traffic sign recognition system uses data mainly from the camera fixed to the windscreen behind the rearview mirror to detect speed signs and display the legal speed limit on the instrument panel. The system also uses data from the navigation system if the vehicle has one. When the system detects a speed limit sign or a related sign, it displays them on the instrument panel. When you exceed the authorized speed limit, the edge of the sign displayed on the instrument panel flashes and an audible signal is emitted to prompt you to slow down. Also, when the speed limiter, cruise control or adaptive cruise control are on, you can press this button to adjust the speed limit set point to keep to the speeds detected on traffic signs. If you're driving in a country that's got a different system of measurements, you'll see an equivalent speed limit displayed on the instrument panel using data from the navigation system. For countries where the speed limit is reduced on some types of roads when it's raining, the system can modify the limited speed once the windscreen wipers have been working for a few seconds. To turn on traffic sign detection, go to the Vehicle section in the Open R-Link center screen and select Driving Assistance. Open the Traffic Sign Regulation menu and select Traffic Sign. Slide your finger over the screen to adjust the difference between the speed limit and the alarm trigger. If the vehicle is fitted with adaptive cruise control, you can combine this with the advanced speed sign recognition system. The system then uses connected map data from the navigation system along with data from the camera to anticipate changes to the speed limit. So your speed gradually changes to match the legal speed limit without you doing anything. On the Adaptive Cruise Control menu, select Road Context Adapt to turn on advanced recognition of the line of the road ahead. The system uses connected map data to anticipate and automatically manage changes in vehicle speed when coming up to a roundabout or a bend. To ensure the system functions correctly, ensure that the camera is not obstructed by any dirt, for example mud or snow. In certain conditions, such as poor visibility or where signs are barely legible, damaged or poorly positioned, the feature may be temporarily unavailable. Remember that Speed Alert with traffic sign recognition must not replace your vigilance as a driver. Always pay attention to the traffic conditions and to your surroundings. The speed limiter ensures that you do not exceed a speed that you've set previously. Press this switch to turn the feature on. This indicator light turns grey, along with dashes to indicate that the speed limiter is on and ready to store a speed limit, and the message "Limiter ready, set to activate" appears on the instrument panel. Once you reach the speed you want, press this control up or down. Your current speed will then replace the dashes and the indicator light will turn white. The minimum storable speed is 18.6 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour. To change the speed limit, press this control up to increase the value and down to reduce it. Press and hold up or down to change the speed by increments of 6.2 miles per hour or 10 kilometers per hour. Don't forget that the speed limiter has a downhill braking feature, so the system can brake to maintain your downhill speed. You can press this switch to combine the speed limiter with traffic sign detection. The system then identifies speed limits and displays them on the instrument panel. So you can set the speed limiter to keep to the speeds detected on traffic signs. If you exceed the speed limit, the circle around the sign flashes and you'll hear an audible signal. Press this button to adjust the limit to the detected speed. When you reach the set speed, you can no longer accelerate, and you will feel resistance when you depress the accelerator. Of course, you can always take back temporary control of the vehicle's acceleration when overtaking, for example, by firmly pressing the accelerator pedal. You'll see the speed limit flashing red on the instrument panel while you're overtaking. To return to the set speed, release the accelerator pedal. Once you've returned to the set speed, the display will return to normal and the speed limiter will resume its role. Just press this switch to put the feature on standby. The speed limit is stored and grayed out on the instrument panel. Just press this switch up to revert to the stored speed. The speed limit is then displayed in green. When the speed limiter is in standby mode, pressing this switch down restarts it and applies your current speed instead of the stored speed. To deactivate the function completely, press this switch. The indicator light on the instrument panel goes out and the saved speed is deleted. Bear in mind that this function is an additional aid that must not replace your vigilance as a driver. Always pay attention to the traffic conditions and to your surroundings. Rear automatic emergency braking uses data from the ultrasonic sensors in the rear bumpers to detect fixed obstacles behind your vehicle and automatically apply the brakes if there is a risk of collision. If reverse gear is engaged and the system detects a collision risk with a fixed obstacle, it automatically applies the brakes. This symbol is then displayed on the multimedia screen accompanied by an audible signal. In the case of a complete halt, the system ceases to apply the brakes. If necessary, you must depress the brake pedal to keep the vehicle stationary. Sensing only works at speeds of around 1.9 to 6.2 miles per hour or 3 to 10 kilometers per hour. You can turn this feature on or off manually from the OpenR Link center screen. Go to the Vehicle section and select Parking Assistance. Then Rear Automatic Emergency Braking. Select On or Off. Also, it is advisable to deactivate the function if you're towing a trailer, as the trailer or tow bar could obstruct the sensors. If the system recognizes a tow bar, the feature is automatically switched off and the message, Trailer, Parking Sensors Not Available, is displayed on the instrument panel with the message Off on the multimedia screen. When the system detects a malfunction, the message Check Driving Assist is displayed on the instrument panel, together with the message Off on the multimedia display. Contact a Renault representative to resolve the problem. Finally, bear in mind that this function is an additional aid that must not replace your vigilance as a driver. You must always watch out for sudden events which can occur during the maneuver. Park Assist helps you when maneuvering by measuring the distance between your vehicle and an obstacle using ultrasound sensors fitted in the bumpers. Depending on the vehicle, the system detects obstacles to the front, rear, and sides. The system warns you with audible signals whose frequency increases as the obstacle approaches, becoming a continuous sound when the obstacle is around 20 to 30 centimeters from your vehicle. You can also see the vehicle's surroundings on the OpenR Link center screen. Green areas show an obstacle at distance, turning to orange as it gets closer. When the obstacle is between about 20 or 30 centimeters from your vehicle, a continuous audible warning is emitted and the marking area turns red. With lateral park assist, an audible warning sounds only if the obstacle is in the vehicle's trajectory. Please note that the system only works at speeds of less than about 6 miles per hour or 10 kilometers per hour. Park Assist is switched off automatically in position P or N, or when your speed is above 6.2 miles per hour or 10 kilometers per hour. The sound will automatically cut out if the vehicle and the detected obstacle are stationary for a few seconds. Press this icon to stop the sound temporarily. You can turn this feature on or off manually from the Open R-Link center screen. Go to the Vehicle section and select Parking Assistance. You can then choose which obstacle detection zones to turn on or off. Press Sound to adjust the volume of the Park Assist audible warning or select its tune. To ensure the system functions correctly, make sure the ultrasound sensors are not obstructed by dirt, such as mud or snow. Also, it is advisable to deactivate the function if you're towing a trailer, as the trailer or tow bar could obstruct the sensors. If the system detects a malfunction, a special audible signal is emitted each time you engage reverse gear, and the message "Check Driving Assist" is displayed on the instrument panel. Contact a Renault representative to resolve the problem. Finally, bear in mind that this function is an additional aid that must not replace your vigilance as a driver. You must always watch out for sudden events which can occur during the maneuver. Automatic parking can identify a parking space, park or exit a parking space without you using the steering wheel, brakes or gears. The feature uses data from the ultrasonic sensors and the cameras at the front and rear of the vehicle to take control of the steering wheel, brakes, engine and gearbox. You just need to keep a slight pressure on the accelerator pedal during the maneuver. Automatic parking works when the vehicle is stationary or traveling at less than 18.6 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour. To turn this feature on, go to the Vehicle section in the Open R-Link center screen and select Automatic Parking. Depending on your personal settings, you can also turn this feature on with the Favorites button on the steering wheel, or by selecting the Automatic Parking widget on the home screen of the multimedia system. You can choose one of three types of maneuver: parallel park, perpendicular park, and exit parallel park. For perpendicular and parallel parking at less than 18.6 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour, the system will look for an available bay or parallel parking space on either side of the vehicle. When a space is detected, it is displayed on the center screen with the letter P. Drive slowly until the stop message appears, accompanied by an audible signal. The parking space turns green on the center screen. Stop the vehicle and press the Start button. This light will appear on the instrument panel, accompanied by an audible signal to indicate the start of the maneuver. You should now let go of the steering wheel, depress the accelerator pedal slightly, and follow the instructions on the screen. Your vehicle is then parked via successive forward and reverse maneuvers, during which the system takes control of the steering, gear selection, and braking. Just keep a slight pressure on the accelerator pedal for the duration of the maneuver. When finished, the message "Maneuver Complete" appears on the screen. The parking brake is engaged and the gearbox automatically shifts to position P. You can now take your foot off the accelerator pedal. To exit a parallel parking bay, select the appropriate graphic on the screen and operate the indicator light on the side you want the vehicle to exit. stop the vehicle and press the start button. This light will appear on the instrument panel, accompanied by an audible signal to indicate the start of the maneuver. You should then let go of the steering wheel, depress the accelerator pedal slightly, and follow the instructions on the screen. Once the vehicle has exited the parking space, the system displays the Maneuver Complete message on the multimedia screen, and the indicator light on the instrument panel goes out. You can now take control of the vehicle by releasing the accelerator pedal or by braking. The maneuver is paused when you depress the accelerator pedal beyond the kickdown point. The indicator light on the instrument panel goes out and there is an audible signal. The vehicle is now immobilized. Release the accelerator pedal, then depress it again to resume the maneuver. The maneuver is cancelled when you press the stop button. When you operate any of the vehicle controls managed by the system, or when the vehicle has performed more than 10 forward and reverse maneuvers. The indicator light on the instrument panel goes out, there is an audible signal, and the vehicle stops. Bear in mind that this feature is an additional aid that cannot be a substitute for your vigilance as a driver. Always check visually to confirm that the parking space suggested by the system is available and free of obstacles. The system may not detect objects located in the sensor's blind spots. Lastly, during the maneuvering stages, the steering wheel may turn quickly. Don't put your hands inside it and make sure that nothing impedes its rotation. Your vehicle comes with a free emergency call service to ensure your safety. Only in the event of a serious accident, the service is automatically triggered, connecting you to 112, the Europe-wide mobile emergency call center. The service is activated when the vehicle starts. This green light shows that the network is available. If safety features such as airbags are triggered, an emergency call is sent automatically without any action on your part. This warning light then lights up to show that a call has been made automatically. If you witness an accident or you are the victim of a minor accident not detected by your vehicle's sensors, you can make an emergency call manually. With the vehicle stationary, press and hold this button for more than 3 seconds to make the call. The indicator light flashes when an emergency call has been sent. You can also tap 5 times within 10 seconds. If you're in an area with no network reception, this indicator light is off. To make an emergency call, you need to find an area where the system can detect a network. As the 112 call is taking place, data such as the location and time of accident are sent to the call center, and you are connected to the emergency service closest to your accident location. If it is safe to do so, stay in the vehicle to make the call. The operator will be on hand to send out the appropriate service. Please note that the emergency call is a safety system linked to the emergency services. It should only be used with caution. Note that if you accidentally press the emergency call button, you can cancel the call by pressing the button again for about 2 seconds, as long as the operator has not already picked up. Finally, if this indicator light stays red for more than 30 minutes, contact a Renault agent as soon as possible to investigate a possible fault. Fluid levels must be checked on flat ground with the engine off and cold. Firstly, locate the opening control for your bonnet. It's located to the left of the dashboard. Get out of your vehicle. Lift the bonnet slightly and push the safety tab near the Renault logo to release the bonnet. Lift the bonnet, unhook the stay and place it in this slot. You will see two coolant reservoirs, one for cooling the electric motor, the other for cooling the traction battery. The fluid level should be between the min and max marks. If this needs topping up, it must be done with the engine cold. You should only use Renault authorized products. They provide your electric motor with anti-freeze protection and anti-corrosion protection for the cooling system. The brake fluid reservoir is located here. Check that the fluid is above the min warning level. If not, contact a specialist to top up the fluid in the hydraulic system. The screen wash reservoir is located here. To fill, open the cap and fill until the fluid is visible. Always use suitable screen wash fluid. The secondary 12-volt battery requires no maintenance. You should never open it or top it up. If you have to replace it, contact a brand representative. The orange components and those displaying this symbol make up the 400-volt electrical circuit. Any work on this high-voltage electrical system must be carried out by a brand representative. To close the bonnet, put the stay back in its original location. To close the bonnet, hold it in the middle and lower it to around 30 centimeters above the closed position, then let it drop. It will automatically lock under its own weight. There are many types of charging leads that you could use to charge your vehicle's traction battery. This means that your vehicle is compatible with all charging infrastructures that supply an alternating current, be they at home, at work, or in public spaces. Some versions are also compatible with charging infrastructures that provide a direct current of up to 130 kilowatts, such as the rapid charging terminals on motorways. A Mode 3 charging lead plugged into a 7.4 kilowatt wall box will recover up to 246 miles or 400 kilometers WLTP in 8 hours, i.e. overnight or during a working day. It's also the most suitable lead for charging your vehicle in a public space. It allows you to recover up to 99.2 miles or 160 kilometers WLTP at a 22 kilowatt public terminal in 1 hour, the amount of time needed for a meeting, a visit, or a little shopping. The Mode 2 Flexi Charger is for use with a green-up safety socket or a main socket when you're away from home, for example. Charging time for a wall box is a third that of a main socket and half that of a green-up socket. Lastly, vehicles fitted with a 60 kilowatt-hour battery have a multi-charging system connector for rapid direct current charging. In 30 minutes, a DC charger plugged into a 130 kilowatt fast charge terminal will recover up to 186 miles or 300 kilometers WLTP or 124 miles or 200 kilometers for motorway driving. Before charging your vehicle, switch off the ignition and be sure to apply the parking brake. Take the charging lead from the special compartment in the boot and connect it to the power source. Press the charging flap to unlock it, then plug in the lead. The charge indicator light flashes yellow to show that the vehicle and the connection are being checked. The lead automatically self-locks. Gently pull the handle to check that it is properly seated. Please note, it's essential to fully extend the charging lead to reduce heating. If the indicator is a steady blue color, it means that a charge has been scheduled. To start a charge, immediately press this button. During charging, the indicator light flashes blue. At the start of charging, the instrument panel displays information such as energy level, battery fill factor, and estimated charging time, based on the amount of energy remaining as well as the power supplied by the charging terminal. It also shows your vehicle's range calculated on the charge already present. The range shown is calculated on the energy that your vehicle consumed over the last 43.4 miles or 70 kilometers. This indicator light comes on when the vehicle is connected to a power source. The display on the instrument panel goes out after 2 minutes. It reappears when a door is opened. We recommend that you set the maximum charge to between 80 and 90% for day-to-day use of your vehicle. This means that the charging time will be shorter and your battery will have a longer life. To do this, go to the Vehicle section of your OpenR-Link multimedia system. Select Electric, then Battery, then set the battery charge level. When charging is complete, the charge indicator light stops flashing and remains green. If the charge indicator light is red, there is a charging malfunction. You need to connect to another charging terminal. If the problem persists, contact a brand representative. Always disconnect the lead in the following order. Press this switch to unlock the charging lead, or press and hold the unlock button on your card. Disconnect the lead, then press the charging flap to close it. Finally, disconnect the lead from the power supply and store it in the special compartment in the boot. Please note, you cannot start your vehicle while it is connected to the charging lead. It's best to avoid parking your vehicle in extreme temperature conditions, as this could affect battery charging. Lastly, you can start a charge or schedule one from your OpenR-Link multimedia system or remotely using the My Renault app. Lots of technologies used in your vehicle allow you to optimize your range by reducing your energy consumption. Battery capacity and vehicle driving range are closely related. The 40 kWh battery gives you a range of up to 186 miles or 300 kilometers, WLTP. It is more suitable for a car that is rarely used for long journeys, so it won't need charging en route. The 60 kWh battery has a range of up to 270 miles or 450 kilometers WLTP, or 167.4 miles or 270 kilometers for motorway driving. It provides more flexibility and allows longer journeys. In both cases, a weekly charge is enough to cover most uses. You don't need to recharge your battery every day. A charge of just 80% is recommended if you don't have to make long journeys. Remember, various factors affect the driving range of an electric vehicle, including and mainly driving speed, driving style, and even the external temperature. For example, the range of an electric vehicle on the motorway in winter with the heating on can be half that of urban driving in the springtime. Several features have been provided to help you to deal with these factors and reduce your energy consumption. The information shown on your instrument panel will help you to adapt your driving to avoid high energy consumption. The power meter shows you the electrical power consumed by your vehicle in real time. It shows when energy is being recovered and when it is being consumed. It's easy to avoid going into the excessive consumption zone by taking your foot off the accelerator when you reach that zone. In addition, the driving style indicator informs you in real time about your driving style. The bigger the circle in the green zone, the better you're controlling your speed and acceleration, and the better your anticipation. It shows that your driving is economical. Your vehicle is also equipped with 4 levels of regenerative braking. Select your level with the paddles fitted behind the steering wheel. Thanks to this feature, when you decelerate, the electric traction engine applies more or less resistance to the wheels, slowing you down and generating electricity to charge the battery. Depending on the driving conditions, you can choose the engine brake level that will regenerate the electricity for the battery. So it's easy for you to adopt a smooth driving style that anticipates decelerations without sudden braking. This efficient driving preserves the driving range and reduces wear to the brakes. The Eco Mode feature can be switched on to optimize your vehicle's energy consumption. It automatically controls the energy consumers, reducing their consumption to the minimum necessary. The heating and air conditioning are kept to the minimum necessary, while the speed is restricted to 62 miles per hour or 100 kilometers per hour. Your OpenR-Link multimedia system provides lots of features that help to maintain your electric vehicle's range. In the navigation section, information on the map, such as traffic info and the location of charging stations, helps to make your journey easier. The multimedia system helps you to plan your journey by letting you know if the vehicle's current charge is enough to get you to your destination. If one or more charges are required, it automatically suggests the best combination of charging stations along the way to keep your total distance to the minimum. What's more, this feature lets you condition your vehicle as you approach a charging point. The battery will then be at the ideal temperature for faster charging. The vehicle section has electric and eco driving menus that will help you to optimize your vehicle's range. On the electric menu, select the Energy tab to display the energy flow and your energy consumption over the previous 30 minutes. This helps you to manage your energy consumption better. You can use the Charge and AC tab to schedule the charging and air conditioning of your vehicle. Preconditioning means that the passenger compartment will be at the right temperature when you set off. This takes hardly any energy from the battery while it is connected, plus it maintains the vehicle's range, as you use the heating and air conditioning less while you're driving. Lastly, go to the Battery tab to set the maximum charge for your vehicle's battery. In order to preserve your battery, we recommend that you set the maximum charge to 80% for day-to-day use of your vehicle. See the Eco Driving menu for information on your journeys and energy saving. You'll also find a score there that rates your eco-driver behavior. There's also lots of advice on how to optimize your energy consumption.